We on.
with the no teeth.
All right. Hey, y'all.
Oh
It's
no.
just Jack. Lord, Glenn got me running this thing by myself. But welcome to the Married at First Sight All-Star Panel. I'm Jack from Jack and Glenn. Glenn will be joining us shortly. And of course, we have with us August Love Story. We got Tommy. And then we got Miss Talisa Ray. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Great, great, great. All right, so we are reviewing Married at First Sight. And what episode is this? It's like 9.
Yeah.
It's 8. It's
Don't
8.
ask me. I don't know. I just turned it on and said, I
I know,
think it's
right?
time. I think it's coming.
This 9, episode 9.
Partying Ways. Partying Ways. Oh, and it was some mess. It was some mess this week. And so I was directed by my co-host to start with Nicole and Chris. That's who he told me to start with. He's giving directions and he's not even here. But anyway,
How he gonna tell you what to do and he ain't here?
I'm trying to tell you. So he was like, start with Nicole and Chris. So let's start with Nicole and Chris. And we're going to start with August Love Story. What you got for Nicole and Chris?
All right. So Nicole and Chris, I hate that she's just keeps looking for the no in his answer, or like she's looking for him to like just disagree with her. I'm like, man, just let it happen. Like you can't force it, because if you do, then that's what your focus is going to be on. You're going to forget about really truly getting to know him, but just focusing on the fact that he's so agreeable with you. If it bothers you that much, I don't know what you can do about it. Like, because it wouldn't bother me. Like, you get your way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're getting your way. I obviously know, hey, that's not the best situation, but you can only say, hey, man, if you don't really want to do this, just tell me. Just say it, because I'm a big person. I'm an adult and I can take a no. I've been told no a lot in my life. You know what I'm saying? But if it's something like with the shirts, I'd like my rule is I'll ask twice. You know what I'm saying? I'll say, "Hey, do you want this?" You say no, and then I'll say, "You sure?" After that, man, it's a done deal. You the one caused that, so it's like she just kind of got to let things happen, and he does look afraid to say no. Like when I think one of her when they was in the room, one of her friends was like, he doesn't fight back, or he won't really, he doesn't look like a fighter or something like that, she said. But basically she was meaning he doesn't look like he would really stand up for himself, and he doesn't. And I think that might be the biggest thing that I saw between them two. But I think that will be their biggest problem, is that she just won't let him be agreeable and drop it, and that's gonna bother her throughout the whole thing. Other than that, man, I think to me they're boring, and I think boring is good in this situation. No real big issues. They're having sex. She blew his back out, so that was a good thing. So it's like it's no real big issues with them, but that's gonna be something that hinders them from really growing and getting to know each other, I think. Because the longer it goes, when he does say like it's not agreeable with her, it's gonna be a big blow up out of it. So that's what I think.
All right. Miss Talisa, what you got?
Girl, I'm over here trying to unmute unmute myself, but on my table and not on my laptop. Now, you know that's when you know you done lost your mind. Well, first off, let me say that I think Nicole talks too much. She always talks. Seems like she got something to say about everything, and then it's too long. Like she needs to cut off at like 45 seconds because she be talking for like 2 minutes. I'm gonna have to agree with you when you say that she's waiting on the other shoe to drop. Like when am I gonna blow up and he's not gonna be able to handle it? Or when is he gonna say no, this nice guy act is gonna dissipate and go away? Now, here's where we differ just a little. I don't think that he's really afraid to say what he feels. I feel like him agreeing with her is him agreeing with her, because when he doesn't, he says, I don't like that shirt. No, but if you want me to wear it, I'll wear it to appease you, but I don't like that shirt. Or I don't want to get rid of my dogs. I know you only got one of my two. I want my dogs to stay. Like, I feel like he's just going to have a different approach than what she's used to, which is somebody being super aggressive at like her, or assertive like she is, and says, no, I don't like that. I don't want that. But I don't feel like he's going to be afraid to say how he feels. It's going to seem like nice guys do. You know, nice guys have a way of just being nice when they tell you no, and when they don't agree with you. They have, and I wouldn't even say nice. I would say they have a little more decorum when it comes to saying, no, I don't agree with you, or I don't like that, or this isn't something. Let's look at a different option. Like, I feel like for me with them, but he does come off as if he's going to be timid and passive, but I promise, I feel like in my spirit that he's going to be like, I'm going to trick all y'all because I've been passive and I've been, a pushover. So it's my turn to show y'all what's up. Like, I know how to fight for myself now, and she's not going to just be able to walk over me. And I think when he said that's what fell down. I think when she said, I know. So, I mean, whole like, there's a squirrel. I feel like he recognizes that she's a bit of a hothead, that whole photo thing and whatever little other things that he's seen, he sees them as a red flag. And like he said, I don't know how I'm going to react or what it's going to look like when it comes at me. So I think that he's aware, and he's like, as Adventure Bay says, I'm putting it in a file. Like he's like, oh yeah, I put that away in a file to remember for later, so that when you do something, I'm all like, oh yeah, that time when she was yelling about that photo, oh, this all makes sense. I'm kind of prepared for it. So they all right though. They cool. I mean, they boring, as you said, Tommy, in agreement. They are boring, and it's nice to see boring and calm. But I kind of low key, because it's really meant to be slightly drama filled. I really want to see her pop off. Like, that's horrible. That's the toxic part of my life that I don't get to express myself, but I get to see somebody else be toxic. So I'm waiting on that. Maybe she won't ever show me that. So, okay, Miss Jackie.
I think we're all in concurrence. Like, Nicole and Chris are really kind of boring right now. They just kind of going with the flow. I did like how he stood up to her about the shirt. And she appreciated that too. Because he was like, I mean, he could have really just gone along with it, but he was like, no, I'm not. And I think she handled it pretty well. But I feel like Talisa too. Besides the little picture thing in the camera, she gonna have one time where she wild out, and he gonna be like, ooh, I don't know if I like this. And I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know what he's gonna do. But other than that, yeah, and I laughed too, Tommy, when they said Nicole blew Kristen's back out. Wow. Wow. And she is hot to try. She was like, oh yeah, we had some this morning. When Pastor Cal was there, she was like, and as soon as you leave, I'm gonna get you some more. So she behind her timetable that she initially set with the 2 days in, but she is giving him all he can take. So, but yeah, I like Kristen, Nicole so far. And hopefully she don't get on his nerves too bad. But I feel like she could. But yeah, that's really it with Chris and Nicole. So let's see, where do we go next? Let's go to the train wreck that really fell apart. Let's go ahead and let's talk about Dominique and McKinley, because that was a hot mess. That was a hot mess. This time, let's start with Talisa. Let's talk about Dominique and McKinley.
Chad, what we gonna talk about? Is she nuts? Like, she totally nuts. Like, I'm like, this girl is 25 years old.
Yes.
And I don't know who said it, which one of them. Oh, I think it was Matt that said, she doesn't really know what she wants, how to communicate what she wants. All she knows is positive vibes only. And there is a such thing as positive toxicity or toxic positivity. That's it. I was gonna say, I see Glenn in the chat. Like, is he gonna tell us what we supposed to do next? That cracked me up. But they came in, into the little group thing. No, I'm sorry, because we started off with them at Pastor Cal, and she kept saying, I don't like none of it or whatever it was. I'm done with it. And Pastor Cal was like, well, what is it? And I'm all like, well, what is it? What are you saying? You're married, you're 25, which is technically an adult. You should be able to articulate what is wrong. And for you to keep saying it and for him to keep asking you, what is it? Was crazy to me. She could have just said, because I really think that she wasn't sure if she was kind of done with it, right? I feel like she was like, well, feeling pressured per se to say that I want a divorce versus saying I'm done with the pettiness, I'm done with the back and forth, I'm done with but we all know she didn't really like Mac. And then just watching her mannerisms, like I ain't really got much to say about Mac except for he gonna go back to where he from, Michigan. But for Dom, I kept watching her facial expressions and I kept saying, this is what you do when you aren't willing to hear or accept constructive criticism. I remember being 25 with a young child and somebody trying to tell me something. And I used to be like, well, you talking, but I'm not going to listen. That's really how I felt. Like, you ain't here helping me with my little 5-year-old at the time. Okay, he wasn't this little, but that was the energy she gave me. She gave me the stubborn, I got it under control, I know what I want, when in actuality, she does not. And then for us to see them in the group setting, right? Are we talking about the group setting separate, or I can talk about it now?
We can talk about it now.
So watching her in the group setting, him and her coming in both with, like, they came in at the same time. So he must have been like, meet me at the apartment and we'll go up together. Because the most people who got divorced early, they ain't walk in together. They walked in separate. It wasn't you could feel the tension. They were awkward, but they had always been awkward, right? So nobody could really probably catch the vibe because y'all always was awkward and you was always complaining and you was always feeling belittled. So the energy that you had was the same energy that the two of you had always carried. So when they asked her, first off, they going around in a circle. Also, I think the people that get divorced be the first ones to be like, yo, we ain't together no more. Let's not even pretend and go around in this circle and talk about, when they started talking about, how you doing? How's everybody doing? When it got to them, they were supposed to say, we getting a divorce, versus Mac and him. Who's had sex? None of your business. None of your business, sir. Okay? None of your business. Nobody's had sex. Okay? As far as you're concerned, your marriage is over. That's what you should be saying and sharing. And then, them saying, oh, which I understand, because we just got back home and y'all already getting divorced, but y'all was tolerating each other on the honeymoon, which made people think, oh, maybe we're going to continue. Maybe we're going to try and work things out. And for her to feel pressured to say, is there a chance to resetting? And for her to say, maybe, I thought to myself, you do not know how to articulate what it is that you are, what you want. You know what I mean? Like, ain't no way. I done told you yesterday that I'm getting a divorce with you. And then we come up here and I'm talking about some maybe. I'm going to say, no, I made my mind up. This isn't for me. And I'm going to stand in that because I'm an adult. And, you're not going to make me change my mind if I don't think that this is going to work. Which I think we all don't think it's going to work. I mean, we all knew it was looking a little weird. Her energy was different. And she kept calling it petty. And I was like, petty? What does she mean, petty? Like, I guess she meant complaining. Even her mother was like, I wish you would have given it more time. Because what I know is that the reason her mama signed her up is because her mama know that she ain't gonna ever be able to find nobody on her own because she's so picky. And she figured, if I get you on this show, at least you're gonna push through. And then when she cried walking down the hallway after she said, I'm getting a divorce, I said, well, what you crying for? Crying because he done tried 18 times to get on the show, finally made it, and they put him with somebody that wasn't gonna work out with. What you crying for? You said you don't like him. Somebody in the comments said they had sex. Was it them they were talking about?
You
Because if
think
they had
so?
sex, she didn't like it. I don't know. I tried. It popped up. Oh, I think they have had sex. LOL. Quanta Asia said that. So I don't know, because if they did, then I'm gonna tell you, it must not have been no good.
It was terrible.
It must have been terrible for that 25-year-old. Okay, the 25-year-old talking about toxic positivity, but she won't toxic. She won't her back blown out, and somebody that's gonna treat her like garbage. And don't laugh, Tommy. You know she do. The man is nice to her. The man was nice to her and constantly compromised, and she did not. I said that last week. She did not compromise on nothing. It didn't feel like it, at least from what I saw, and that's all I can do is give you my opinion about what I saw. If they laid out on the beach, well, we didn't see it. I didn't see it. I missed chapter 6, episode 6 altogether. So maybe they did it on episode 6. I don't know, but I feel like when she said maybe, then she should have took that opportunity and reset, because that's what she meant. Maybe after talking to her mama, what she meant was maybe. But when she got in front of him, I was about to say something that wasn't gonna be right. It wasn't gonna be right. After she got in front of him, she decided, you know what? This ain't it. I don't like the way he looked. Probably I don't like the way he smelled. I don't like the way he talked. He ain't adventurous, and he don't want to do nothing. I'm done. I'm sounding like Nicole now. I'm just talking and talking and talking, talking and talking and talking. All right, Tommy.
I had to unmute myself. Nah, I was listening to you because I was like, man, she got great points. But I think Dom is the villain in this, all because she's so mysterious with her answers. When she came off and was like, I'm just over it. And everybody's like, what? And of course, we know the dramatics of it, right? What is it? And they have to say it again. What is it? You know, all that stuff. But just be real with yourself, man. You're unsure of if this brother is gonna be here. You don't want to go anywhere. You just came off a vacation and he complained, whatever you feel like was his complaints, because he didn't want to do everything you wanted to do. And you didn't offer to do anything that he wanted to do, or even asked. I think he asked to go to the beach and she was like, she don't want to do that. And I was like, well, like that it doesn't work that way. You have to give and take. Give and take is the thing. So she becomes the villain because she asked to be divorced, and she asked for all of that. So it's like, now when you're looking at it from the standpoint of like, what did Mac do wrong, or what could have Mac done to be in this process a little bit longer? And it's nothing. There's nothing for him to have that he could have done to make the situation a lot better for her, because everything in her head. She thought of everything. She got mad at him and he gave her the same energy that she gave him. She didn't like it. It caused the argument. I was like, man, these people here, they're weird. And then we all knew, her being 25, she's at 25. I wasn't ready to be married. I don't even think at 25 me and Artiga had started dating yet. So it's like 25, and this is what you choose to do. Like, most of the time people are on here because they can't find a date. I don't think she dated enough. At 25, like, go on some more. Date some more. Like Pastor Cal told her, like, really, honestly, date yourself. Discover who you are first, and then go and get into a long-term relationship, or try to be into a relationship. So I think once we get over the fact that she becomes the villain, we can now look at when they were in the group setting, and she said maybe. She only said I knew she only said maybe, so they stopped talking to her about it, because I think Nicole was like, you're gonna regret it, and then ask something else. Can we get a maybe? Maybe. And I felt bad for Mac at that point because it gave him hope. I think Glenn is back.
all of a sudden, everything is changing.
Yeah. Man, but I just, I think Dom just she was too young for this process, and it goes back to the idea that she did not sign up for this process. So leaving it was a thing. I just don't think they should have picked her. I think they should have just went with somebody else, or just went with the 4 that they had. What else did I write? Because it was
They do always have that extra one for no reason. Like they always want to have 5, and that 5th set is the one of them is gonna be like, I don't like this, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, like that's, and it's really stupid to me, because it's like, if you even remove the age gap, right? Let's not even say 25 and 34. Let's just talk about like how mature she is in the head. Like she couldn't handle that. She couldn't handle the idea that this man does not have an apartment or a house, because that's one thing she kept on harping about with her mom. I thought he would be more established. Well, he's fairly established. He's just not established in that city. Now it looks bad on Mac's part, because like let's be honest, man. This man didn't have his job is his business in another his job is his business in another state, and it's not legal in the state that he's living in. He's living with his friend's parents in a basement where he living out of a suitcase, essentially. So that's not a good candidate for a husband. Let's be honest. So, I mean, she's not mature enough to handle a situation like that, and apparently he's still trying to figure it out. So I always said Mac never should have signed up for this show if he's in the city for 5 months, because he's still trying to figure out if he wants to be here. But then apparently I'm going with the theme that he moved to Nashville for the show.
Right.
So
right.
It was just a bad match.
I'm gonna agree with you when you said earlier, you talked about Dom, all the things that Dom saw wrong. When she was sitting with Pastor Cal, she was supposed to be able to articulate everything she shared with us in the vignette. And you know, I don't know if she a villain. I just feel like she ain't really,
she the villain in that situation, because it's like you feel bad for Mac. Like at this point, like I don't know if you guys do, but I feel bad for him. Because I mean, like
real tears too.
Right. Because it's like he tried. He compromised when he needed to. Well, for everything, honestly. She didn't give him a go with anything. And he apologized for so much in a matter of 2 weeks. He apologized for damn near everything he did. I'm sorry for I'm sorry for being so negative. I'm sorry for my jokes. I'm sorry for eating like this. I'm sorry for sleeping, snoring. Like he apologized for everything.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like she didn't try to get his jokes. She didn't try to get to know him. She didn't try to get to understand him. Like the thing that was really sad is when he was like talking about the dogs, and she just kind of like, I'm not finna argue with you over dogs. And I'm like, argue with him over his dogs.
Yeah, please. Show some interest in the man.
Just do it. And
yeah, but she got a valid point though, Tommy. I gotta give her that. I ain't sleeping with 4 dogs, dog.
No, there ain't nobody sleeping with no dogs. Unless it's agreed upon between the two people. But it's talk about the dog. Ask him about the dogs. Why the dogs ain't here?
Right.
Are you looking to bring the dogs? Those are simple conversations to have, and it's not arguments. So that's the thing. That's why I say she's the villain, because she didn't do all of these things and then say, I want to get a divorce. But I get it from her standpoint because of what she's looking at. I'm not trying to move. I'm trying to be here in Nashville, but is he trying to be here in Nashville?
And she should have asked him that though. What is your plan? The moment she saw that basement, that half a room basement, okay, because he got to go upstairs to use the bathroom, to share the shower and all of that. As soon as she saw that, when they came out and she didn't like it, in that car ride where she should have talked about them dogs. She also should have said, what is your plan? You're not stable here and it makes me nervous. But that's what a person who is mature is going to say, who's lived a little, who knows exactly what they want and is not afraid to communicate. What is your plan before I get vested in you and you run off? Because I'm not going to Michigan. I'm not going to California. I'm not going on the East Coast. I'm not going anywhere. I want to be here in Tennessee next to my mama. So I don't know. But
if she knew all that, right, Talisa, and this is where I kind of went back on this situation. Hey, what's up? How y'all doing, man?
Hi, Glenn.
Hey, I miss y'all. I'll try to get home. But I was thinking, because I went back and forth on Dom. I like you for a minute time. I'm like, man, she's a villain. But then I'm like, you know what? I can see where she's coming from. And do we applaud other guests for like bowing out early? Because if she knew it's not going to work, why do I waste this man's 8 weeks?
Agreed.
She didn't even try is the thing. But she didn't give it time. Like 2 weeks is not enough time to try.
But she knows, again, I don't want to move out of Tennessee.
Right.
That's the big thing for her. I'm not moving. He seemed like he about to move. He doesn't want to do anything I like to do. We're not compatible in none of this stuff. I don't care about being on TV. I only worry about the checks. I know now this ain't what I want. And they matched me wrong, so I'm gonna bow out. Because I think about a couple seasons ago, everybody wanted Chris to go.
We wanted him out of there.
But it's different, man. It's like Chris was different, man. Like we looking at Chris.
But we would have been mad if Chris just bowed out.
No,
that was different though. Like she was nasty. She was nasty. Unless we have really seen something like we didn't see his behavior off camera, like. I just can't believe he was just that crazy. I think it was her. And I feel like Tommy, like, I'm not even going to put it on her age necessarily. She's just not all this old soul stuff. Okay, you might be an old soul, but you're not mature. She wasn't mature. And that's the thing you have to understand. You're going into a Married at First Sight. Y'all have to get to know each other. You have to weed through, the ups and you have to figure each other out. Like, you can't come into the Married at First Sight process and be so rigid. And I feel like that's how she was. She went, like you said, Tommy, I apologize for this. I apologize for that. He's bending for this, doing stuff that she wants to do. And meanwhile, she telling him, I'll lay on the beach in Miami. I'm not laying on the beach in Jamaica. Like, that's what he want to do. So he's stepping out of his comfort zone and doing what you want to do, but you can't do nothing he want to do.
I totally agree with that. She needed compromise. I did another video about her compromising. She needed to compromise. She didn't want to compromise. She didn't willing to compromise. And again, I blame Mama. I blame Married at First Sight in the production. If you don't fill out your own paperwork, you shouldn't get picked, right? If you in the process and they tell you and you come out and say, you know what, I ain't feel this out. My mama filled it out. Guess what? Are you really do you really want to be married? Are you really invested if it comes to you? I mean, you didn't do it. You didn't initiate the process.
Right.
And so we're going to let you go through the process. We think about all those people. I went back and watched the matchmaking special because I hadn't watched it. But I went back. I'm looking at all these other candidates they had. I'm like, some of these might have been better than her.
For sure.
On the show, because at least they was committed or wanted to be on the process. She didn't do that. And I think there should be some things that disqualify a person.
I think that they intentionally do that though. Like I think that they intentionally find at least one couple that they know are not gonna work and ruin their life. Like
yeah, they always have a one opposites attract. Opposites attract, and they be mad.
Yeah.
I don't like the opposites. I don't like the opposite thing either.
Cause that just don't work, man.
Yeah, compatibility is a whole ass thing.
Yeah.
Right.
The funniest part about their interaction though was at the end when she was like, well, we can just try to be friends. He was like, I don't want to be your friend. There you go. Man.
I know that was harsh, but I was like, you better say the truth. I don't want to be your friend. Man. I didn't come on here to make friends.
Jack was there clapping like it was church.
He said, I don't want to be your friend. Forget that. Right. She was like, I don't want to walk around Nashville knowing somebody got a problem. McKinley was like, be gone. And then I felt the same way as Talisa. I said, now watch. When we come back to the reunion thing, he was like, yeah. And so I moved back to Michigan. And she going to be like, see, that's why.
Yeah.
I knew he was gonna do it.
But I'm gonna ask, can I ask you guys this though? How much was Mac really healed from his past relationship? And because remember his girl, he found out he asked his fiance, somebody else asked his fiance to marry him
while they were dating.
While they was dating,
right?
And she
That's
said,
hilarious though to me. Like you didn't know that you wasn't the only one. Like, see, this reminded me. Let me keep it to myself. Let me keep that to myself because you didn't know because he wasn't honest. She wasn't honest about dating more than one person. But I'm gonna mind my own business over here with that. Let me just y'all ain't ready for what I got to say.
I mean, you could check out our podcast when we talk about it. It was on our podcast. August Love Story. It was a great conversation, and we enjoyed it. We're gonna do a part 2 sometime this in the coming months. So be on the lookout.
Yeah.
So we want to see some things from that hurt that made her be like, you know what, I don't want this.
But again, why sign up for this if you know that's the thing? Like this is an extreme, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why sign up for this if you know that's what's going on with you?
That too. I mean, I think I had to think about both sides because remember, this is the same guy whose mama gonna give you $50,000?
His mama
not to come on the show. Why would your mama want you not to go on the show that bad that she's willing to pay you $50,000 and not come on it?
A lot of mamas don't understand this show,
right?
Oh, and that all white mama show didn't.
We got to commend the fact that she just got $50,000
to throw away.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing: like she could have. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Let me write that note so when we get finished, I can ask you what you was thinking. Hold on.
Right. All the never minds and everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, you know, y'all know I be inappropriate, and so I be like, oh wait a minute, they're not ready for that. They're not. Hold on, I can say it on my channel because the people be mad at me for the things I say on your channel. So
right.
No, but man, somebody has to be the villain in that relationship, and I think Dom really stepped up into that role just because she didn't give anything and then asked for the divorce, you know. And she didn't like it. It wasn't an attempt to work through things. You know, it was just I don't like this situation. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean by, hey, the experts got to expert better, because that's not a fair. Honestly, it's not fair to Mac. And then 2, it's not fair to the viewers.
Mm-hmm.
We get invested in these guys. This is episode 9. So it takes us 9 weeks to get invested with these guys, and then here it is. We're like, yep. I at least thought they was gonna go to 8 weeks.
At minimum,
you know. So it's just, you know, that's what makes her the villain in my eyes. It's like you didn't attempt to make this thing work or see it through. What's the thing? Like, gotta see it through, my boy.
Yeah. even though you know, I think that what we're saying is that if she would have if we would have saw some effort from her to make some type of like communicate, I ain't even gonna say compromise, just communicate really thoroughly what you did not like to the people, the pastor and your husband, I think that we would be more like, okay, I'm glad you were able to articulate how you felt.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't have. I don't think we'd be like you, the villain. We'd be like, well, she said what she said. I mean, you know, we stood there. It just seemed just so like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It felt really stubborn and selfish.
Yes.
Did not articulate it. Even though she may have had valid reasons because she did not share what those were. And we don't owe nobody nothing, but please and believe, not owing somebody nothing don't mean we ain't gonna have an opinion.
Right.
So she, you know, she should have. I'm hoping that in the future when she sees this, she's all like, oh damn, I did look crazy. I should have said, you know, or maybe she watching. Okay, Dom, listen, boo, Nikki, you gotta be able to say what you say. Say what you feel and mean it. It's okay. Anyway.
Say it with your chest.
Yeah. Yeah.
say it with your chest, you know. You can tell she was childish at that point. She was embarrassed. I don't like the fact how they made them walk in together on the show.
That's what
I was like,
that's what Talisa was like. Usually they come in separate.
Yeah,
they came in together.
I'm like, we're mad at each other. Like, you just divorced me. I'm not walking in with you. Get your butt in here. You know?
And the only other thing I want to mention too, which Talisa mentioned, is their whole conversation of I didn't like Nicole telling her you're gonna regret this later. Who are you to say that, first of all? And then they forced her hand. Is it maybe a chance? If situation was different, and like she told McKinley later, she was like, in that space, I feel like it would have been wrong to say no. So I said maybe, even though I didn't mean it. She had every opportunity to be like, you know what? No, I'm done with it. But she couldn't even say that then and stick up. Yeah.
She had more guts than Eris. Because I think Eris is gone too.
Woo, listen.
I think Eris is out.
Is there some vodka in here? Let me drink that.
She had more guts.
So we're gonna go to them next.
We can. We got Eris and Jasmine. I don't know your rotation. I was driving.
Okay, so Talisa started this one, so he can go back to August love story. How about that?
You're a great host. I appreciate
it.
You know what? Goodbye.
Look at y'all.
August love, what you got about Jasmine and Eris?
Man, his cousin. Ooh. I hate to say it because I don't like her. But she had a point where she told him, "Hey, either you out or you do what you need to do to figure out how to have sex with your wife." I wouldn't have used sex as a thing just because sex is the cherry. It's the bonus, right? So figure out all the other things, because there's she can't say she wants it and you don't give it to her, right? So it's like, okay, what is it that you're trying to figure out? Because you say she's not ugly, she's attractive, but you're not sexually attracted to her, or you don't want to be physical with her. So what is it that you want with her? Because right now, this is your wife. Do you want to be married to her? If you want to be married to her, work on that. Work on being married to her. Because sex won't be the only thing that we talked about this in our podcast. Intimacy is not only sex. Right. So it's like you're trying to figure out how to build that intimacy between each other. So I think she gave him good advice. I just don't like that it came from her. Like, I wish it was like his mom or somebody or a friend, but it sucked that it came from her because it was good. It was solid. But we see that he's running into an issue when it comes to her and his wife. Like, that's a big one. Because you got, 40 years and 12 days? What do you like? How do you balance that? So he's coming into this situation not knowing how to balance that. And the way that he looks and the way that he kind of talks, he's going to lean more so towards his cousin, because apparently after they had that conversation, she was like, I don't want her to come. Jasmine didn't want his cousin to come. I don't know her name. Fal is her name or something like that. Felina,
yeah.
Yeah. So Jasmine didn't want Felina to come. So it was like, and then he goes and asks her to come to the housewarming. And luckily she says no, because what type of situation would that have been if she walked in there? After she told him, no, I don't want her there. She calls her fake, which I don't get that. An answer is an answer.
Yeah.
No matter if I thought about it or if it sounds, it was so stupid because I just watched it 2 hours ago. Mm-hmm. She said, your answers seem so right. Like, what type of stupid stuff is that? What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? So it's a fight that Jasmine is bowing out of because she said she didn't feel respected, which I get. Like, you've been called fake, and then only thing they know about you is that you're a beauty queen.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm fake because I chose to be a pageant, like in pageants, and I won uh, contests and stuff. That's unfair. Get to know me. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, like puts him at a predicament. But they said the biggest thing for them is communication, and I'm like, now the biggest thing for them is him trying to figure out what it is that he don't like about you and how to get past it. Because if you can't get past it, you guys are just gonna be in the same circle over and over again for the next 8 weeks, and then you just really gonna be waiting to end it. But and he has to talk about this dog situation too, because TT Pat was like, the looks that she was giving him was like, don't you say one more word about her and her dogs. Jasmine can't do no wrong, you know, which all of us are like, yeah, 4 dogs is a lot.
Yeah,
you know, for one person.
Not to mention the other 9 that she take care of.
Right. So it's like, yeah, she got a lot of animals at her crib, and that would be jarring to anybody, right? That's not in that scope of work. So they got a lot of stuff to work on, and then when it comes to today, I think it's more so Eris, and he's gonna have a big one when it comes to him, his Jasmine and Fallon, his cousin, Felina, his cousin. I can't remember her name. She gave the best advice that I've heard on this episode, and I hate it came from her.
Right.
That like really grinded my gear. I was like, God, I want to be mad that she said that, but it was good. Dang. But I think they're gonna run into some issues because he's trying to be nice, and so it's not coming out honest. And I think that's the issue with them. So to speak.
My turn.
Yeah.
Your turn.
I agree, Tommy.
What?
Felina did give very good advice. Sit on the pot, SHIT on the pot, or get up. Okay, yep. Either we gonna do it or we not. But I don't like that she has already made an assumption about this woman and has no clue of who she is. All you know, like you said, is that she's a beauty queen, okay? And that she has well thought out answers. You want her to be very much so rah and in your face, like you. That's not who she is. You want her to be point blank, blunt like you, and that's not her personality. Her personality seems like somebody who is thoughtful and kind. And let me think about the things that I say before I say them, because words matter. And once you say something, you cannot take it back. That is exactly why Jasmine feels so disrespected by her, because of the things you're saying. And the fact of the matter is, it didn't matter who it was for Fal. It didn't matter. It could have been a hood chick. It could have been her best friend. It could have been it, and she still probably would have had the same thought. You're not ready for marriage. What makes you think that you're ready for marriage? You just want to be married? Like, I get where she was coming from, but her delivery is so horrible to the point where it turns people off. Like, you, great advice. You're making sense because you know your cousin better than the rest of us, but how you are delivering it and making that woman feel less than, I don't like that. I also, though, don't like how Jasmine tends to be like pining over him, like holding on to his arm, and the man don't want to. You said it, and it's hurting your feelings. Okay, when we saw it in the group, and she said we're not having sex, you could see that she was hurt in her face. Like, I ain't never had this problem where I'm the person initiating kisses or hugs or holding hands. This ain't it. Have you seen me? Like, I get it. Her ego is in full protection mode, because for her is, I'm a catch. I've never had this problem. And whatever your issue is your issue, and it is not mine. And you need to figure it out, sir. And she needs to tell him, figure out what your issue is. I'm all in. Figure out what your issue is, share what your issue is, and either we can fix it or we need to go our separate ways. It's just that simple. Because she's in. Okay, and he's pretending that he's in. And I'm thinking about the housewarming. And that little clip they showed us of who's on your list, and she just was like, who else and who else, versus saying in that moment, I'm with him. She should have said in that moment, I don't want foul here. In that moment, she later on, I guess he said she waited and sent him a message because whatever. But we did see her vocalize that she felt disrespected. There was a point of them on the couch, and she said she felt disrespected. But I think she needs to pull up a little bit because he does now think that he's the catch. And I'm one of those people. I seen it in the comments really quick. Somebody was like, women are being triggered because he keeps saying that she likes him more than me. I'm triggered. I'm triggered because, sir, you're not what you think you are.
Thank you.
I want her to pull up. I need her to just pull back just a little bit so that he can really show you that he don't like you, and then you can really make an informed decision that this ain't it, or you can keep trying. Okay, pull back and just have friendly conversations. Fucking play Uno or some shit. I don't know, but not what she's doing. You know, every chance she's get, I want to have sex with him. I want to be intimate with him. He does not want that. Like, quit telling him, you know, that you trying to get the draws. Quit telling him. Like, it's cool. It's cool, bro. Matter of fact, I'm gonna roll over to this drawer. I went to my house and I got what I needed. I'm going and take me a shower. Something I'll make it known that I don't need you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But also, he's totally turned off by the dogs. And in addition to her not being his type, right? Whatever his type is, it might be a little thicker than her. It might be a whole lot of things, right? Her teeth might be a problem. We talked about all these things that could be what the issue is. But them dogs, you got 4 of them sleeping in the bed with you? Ma'am, we need a whole another bedroom and they can have that room and sleep on that bed. Because I don't want one dog sleeping with me. And I know I done told y'all about my little cousin Stewie. Okay, that's my cousin's baby. Okay, dog. It's a dog. It's a Chihuahua mix. When I tell you that woman loves that dog, and she said, my husband is going to have to accept that the dog sleeps with us, it's far and few between. She wants her a black man. It's far and few between that I know that as a black man, it's going to be like the dog can sleep down here at the foot or at the head or in between us. When is y'all getting it together? Like, when is y'all how y'all gonna get it in with a little Stewie right there? Stewie. But you know, I love her, so I let her, you know, hey, if it works out, if you find somebody that's willing to let the 4 dogs sleep with you, then ma'am, please, by all means, because you're gonna have to train them not to be in the bed. Let me think. Let me just peek really quick and see if I wrote something else that I oh yeah, TT Pat don't play. You laughing at me having to lift my glasses up, Tommy?
I was thinking the same thing.
Said, let me check my notes.
Let me check my notes, right? Let me see if I said that. Oh, the thing you said, Tommy, about her being fake. Did I make mention all it already? Maybe I said something a little bit, but I don't like that. I don't like that either. Why am I fake? Because I can articulate the things that I desire. Why am I fake? Because now, tip. I'm glad that we all are able to articulate our wants, needs, and desires, but we also have to be able to articulate the things that we don't like. This is the second couple that we've seen. Actually, the third couple that we've talked about that we say may have an issue in articulating the things that they don't like. Mm-hmm. That is huge in a relationship. Commitment, communication, compromise. And communication includes all the things, the awkward, uncomfortable conversations. Mm-hmm. And that is one that they need to start having. Okay, the end.
And scene.
Right. I feel like everybody else too, like, I don't know. I kept feeling the same way to Lisa when, oh, my wife is very attracted to me. And I was like, Eris, please. Bro, you are not all that. And if I'm comparing the two.
But in his mind, he is. What, are you going to knock his confidence?
Yes, like he knocking hers down. Yes.
Thank you.
His confidence is arrogance, because you got to realize the single man has always been told he's this, and this. Now you got to realize why he's not married. It's not because of your looks. It's because of your attitude, and all you want is the booty, right? And now you have one who's want to give you the booty. And I'm kind of shocked at some of the women in the chat, though, because I'm like, she's trying to give it up. He know he ain't really attracted to her, so he don't want to take it. He should be getting applauded. I mean, for real, in theory though, right? Because he should be getting like, you know what? I'm not sexually attracted with her to her. I don't want to just go ahead and give her and have sex with her. Because I know Tommy, I know a lot of dudes would have just went and had sex with her anyway.
Oh, like Kristen Page.
Right. Would have just had sex with her and know they're not gonna be with her at the end.
I think my question about that is like, why though? Like, why aren't you sexual? If she's attractive, like you say.
I wonder if she has a smell. Okay.
See, that's the thing I was wondering too. Does she smell? Is it
like I was like even talking about her lady parts. I'm just talking about like coming outside of her pores. Like is the bacon, is it really bothering him that it's coming out of her pores? Like, you know what I mean? Like you date somebody and they drink a lot and they come out their pores. When you be just sitting there, you be like, yo, you smell like vodka or whatever the smell is. Like, I can't do this. I'm just wondering, like, does she have a scent?
It's something.
It's
something that turned him off because the question came up about sex. Him saying that I'm a very, very sexual person.
Correct.
And then all of a sudden you're not wanting to have sex with her. What happened?
Right.
Yeah, something.
And it's not integrity. I saw the comment. It's not integrity. It might just be respect. Okay. I know I don't really like her and I don't want to do it to her. I don't want to, but you can call it what it wants.
He's an F-boy. F-boys don't have no respect.
But you know what? But F-boys got respect when you got
integrity.
F-boys got respect when you got millions of people watching you. and you got when people are watching you and you at the end of the show, you have to go back home. You have to go back in your neighborhood. You have to go back and deal with your mama. You still have to go deal with those. Some people are willing to act for the TV screen and be like, you know what? I'm not going to do this because it's going to make me look bad, my reputation, who I am, why I'm on this station, on this channel. So he may not be, his intentions may not be genuine, may not be because of integrity or character, but you got to, if we just take it with a grain of salt, it's kind of like, you know, he ain't Chris. Chris was getting Paige on a regular, and he ain't like her. Mm-hmm. So again, at least give him the respect that, you know what, he's not doing XYZ because of he knows that he's not attracted. He knows right now he doesn't want to be with her for the next 8 weeks. He knows that, you know what, I can't see myself walking because her butt ain't big enough, right? Or that
is so shallow.
It's shallow, or maybe because her teeth is crooked, and he don't want to tell her teeth crooked. Right?
That's shallow too.
I'm saying it's shallow, right? He may not want to insult her because he likes the qualities about her, though. He said, if you ever ask him, watch, he always talks about the qualities of her being able to take care of kids and take care of people and how organized she is and all the things of that nature. So again, he likes the qualities. He doesn't like the outward. He likes the inward. He just doesn't like the outward. He likes what she had with the inward qualities. But the outward is you call it immaturity, you call it young-minded, but he's old though, which is kind of backwards. But you can call it whatever you want to call it with him. That's where that he like all she checks all his boxes off except from the physical aspect.
What if it got something to do with the mutual friend?
It might have something to do with that too.
Because I just thought about it. I was like, if the mutual friend is the person that he wanted to truly be with, because he had to, like basically he called her and was like, hey, I'm getting married. What if it's that?
Okay.
You know?
So I must have missed that episode. Somebody fill me in. That must have been in episode 6 that we found that out. The one episode that I did not get to watch.
It was on.
I don't know what it was on.
Maybe it was on After Party.
After Party. He said they had a conversation when they was on the honeymoon, and she looked at his phone on Instagram and realized they had a mutual friend. And then he said, "Oh, that's the girl I was dating prior to getting on the show." And so on the matchmaker special, we knew he said that he had sex like the night before he was told that he was going to get married in 2 weeks. And so by putting 2 and 2 together, he had sex with a mutual friend that she knows because they was dating before they got matched.
Did she say what kind of friend it was? It was just, like, was it her friend?
She wasn't one of her friends. Just said a mutual friend on Instagram. So she knows about it. And that might be, you know what? That might be stemmed from that conversation because because on the honeymoon, he asked her what kind of sexual position. They might have had that conversation. And he was like, you know what? I ain't doing that. I'm not even going to have sex with you because you know her.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You see that? I mean, it's just something to think about because it's like it's weird, right? Like I have never seen like been in a situation where I'm like, yeah, I think she's pretty, but I don't want to have sex with her. Like that for me.
Artika, where are you?
I've never seen that, and I've never seen a guy.
I mean, I've talked about this with Artika before, you know, but it's like those two things does not go together for me.
Right.
In my conversation with people, I'm not gonna say I think she's attractive, and I don't want to have sex. You know what I'm saying? Like if the opportunity was there, I'm not gonna be like she's pretty, but I ain't gonna have. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
He did a total 180 after she told him no, dog.
And that's why she said, "It's. I'm trying to figure out what it is. You telling me you're a very sexual person, but I can't get nothing from you.
Right?
We need to have a conversation.
Girl, you ain't even rubbing my leg. Like I'm holding on to your arm for dear life. You ain't got hand on me at all. Like
at all.
I would never. Okay, but listen, that's just me.
Did y'all see his boy's face? His boys was shocked that like y'all ain't had sex yet.
Yeah,
right.
when she said that at the housewarming, they was like,
The shorter one was like, oh, something wrong.
Right. Something's off because
Something ain't right. I don't know. I'm gonna talk to my boys. See what he telling them. I'm sure he done told them what was wrong already.
Yeah, because they asked like, why you ain't having sex with your girl, man? The fact that she keeps talking about, like she's told
something
his
friends.
Right.
Why?
Say it again.
Mm-hmm.
I said, why is she so willing to have sex with somebody that don't find her attractive?
Because she's all in.
And he said, I think she's an attractive woman.
Yes.
I'm not attracted to her. So, you know, in her mind, that, you know, I don't know. Because for me, I'm out. You guys only got to tell me one time that I'm physically attracted to you and you're not physically attracted to me. My ego is going to be like, oh, you out.
See, that's what I'm thinking.
Right.
My ego ain't going to let me. Have you seen me? That's what I probably would have told them.
I'd be like, I am a pageant queen. What you mean? You ain't attracted to me. You know how many men be trying to come at me? I absolutely would be like, well, you ain't all that either.
You know how many men
A-Mac said it might be her feet.
A fool.
I hope it comes out because I think isn't this an episode where they're supposed to do the intimacy thing and try to get maybe they do tantric yoga and maybe that works. I don't know.
We're gonna be able to see if she smells, like if it's like a sit thing. If they doing y'all. Maybe it's just me because I'm big on smells. I'm huge on smells. If you don't smell right,
maybe that is what it is. He don't eat no pork and she keep putting the pork in her mouth and he like, nah, I can't. Too much. You smell like bacon.
I can't touch the swine.
Yeah.
Maybe with the bacon and the dog mix. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like Tommy too. Like Felina did give him some good advice. Like, just try. You're gonna have to be loving and caring to her. Open yourself up. But at the same time, I still think she fake. She was talking out both sides of her neck.
And maybe too for him though, too. I be thinking about like physical touch is his primary love language, maybe, but what it can be because physical touch means I'm holding your hand, I'm hugging you, etc., etc. I think that his intimacy connection comes with sex. Like, and so if we're not doing it, I ain't gonna like you. Like, you know what I mean? Like some people are like that. I want to have sex and then everything else. They said mega sexuals, I guess is what they call. I want to have sex and then everything else can come after. Yeah. But since I don't want to have sex with you, nothing's gonna come after. It's nothing happening. I don't know. In this instance, who's the villain, Tommy?
Eris, and I hate to say it because I was rooting for my boy.
We always
rooting for him, man. But it's just.
Especially with the therapy and the healing, and I'm reading the books and I'm doing the yoga. I was like, maybe I'm meditating. He lying.
He's trying to really save his face for TV, but it's harming their situation more than anything, just because it's not that he doesn't want to have sex with her, right? Let's remove that from there. it's something else that's causing him to have some type of block. You know, and we don't know what it is, because that's what his cousin was telling him. Whatever it is, you need to figure it out and fix it. Otherwise, this is just a waste of your time, and that's what she was meaning. And it's like, damn, hate that was her saying that. Like, why he couldn't have that conversation with his mom or somebody.
Maybe like the other chicken. Maybe he got one on the way. He don't, maybe he got a baby on the way with the other girl. And he like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy my 8 weeks.
Thing.
Let's not do that to her. Yo, come on, Glenn. And I'm with Chris, because Chris D just said it's her breath. He won't even look her way. I always say he never looks at her. He never talking to her. He never looks at her. And
I never paid that attention.
Thing happening. It could be. It could be.
Give that girl a Tic Tac. Give her a Tic Tac. Make sure she brushes her teeth. Give her some mouthwash. Buy some mouthwash. Look, I bought this. Can we try this together?
No. It's disappointment. Go to the dentist and see them holes in your teeth. Is what's. I dated a guy who always wanted to kiss me, but he had horrible breath. Nice guy, had a good time. He kept trying. So finally, at the door one day, can I have a kiss? And I just had to say no. He was like, why? I was like, because your breath. I don't know what's happening. And then he had the nerve to say, oh, it's because I smoke a lot of weed. And I thought to myself, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't what that is. That hole in your tooth needs to be fixed.
You mean he pull out the thing?
With no binocular. He didn't pull out no binocular. But you just got to tell the folks.
Yeah.
And the next time I saw him, I promise you, the next time I saw him, he did not have bad breath. I liked him. He was a good guy. We used to call him Uber referee. And he was a good guy. I liked him. We went on a date every week. He gave me flowers every week. I liked him as a person, but I could not get past his breath. But one day he came over and he didn't have that. I was like, wow. Oh, today you can let me try kissing him today. He must have did something, but he couldn't eat no ice cream, which made me know that he had a hole in his tooth.
Yeah, look at all these health people we have in the chat. The health conscious folks. Scrape your tongue. Get a water pick.
Give a water pick.
Yo, I am cracking up over here. Like, yo, everybody know how to make sure you ain't got no bad breath.
Right.
Hey man, that's a big thing.
Ain't no dragon breath for Lyles in the chat.
Yeah, and you gotta, but I also feel like it's his responsibility. Now that's my husband. If it was my husband, I would want my husband to say, yo, this is, not when the camera is there, not when, when it's just the two of us. Share with me what the issue is.
But I think that's great to leave. I think that's you said something that was key though. He should at least tell her why they're not having sex, whether it's no camera or whatever. He should have let her know, right? Because now she's not looking, I don't want to say looking foolish in front of her friends, but in the rest of the group, and so she's not playing up. At least she understands why and where he's coming from. But that goes to his fact that he doesn't communicate very well. Send her a text message. Can we talk when I get home? Because that's what she did to him about, the Felina. She left, waited until she left instead of text. If that's the way, because I think if you can't communicate face to face, at least we can communicate through text, email, or something. Send a chain back and forth. Long the communication gets done. And so if the communication is that, you know what, I would have sex with you, but you ain't got a big butt, your breath stink, blah, 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 blah. Give her a chance to respond back and we can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it gives her a way to fight for the marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
He's taking all her tools away.
Yeah.
To actually make this thing work.
Yeah.
And I think that's what bothers me more than anything else, is that there's no way for them to work on the issue because he's not telling her the issue. He's just saying she's attractive. I'm just not sexually attracted. That doesn't even make sense to me. Like for me, it does not compute. Like if I think you're pretty, 9 times out of 10, I would have sex with you.
Yo,
pre-marriage.
It's bad when a dude says he's not sexually attracted to you, but y'all rubbing on each other. She's spooning, she's sleeping close with you, she's cuddling, and you're not sexually attracted. Like you never get excited.
And it's unbelievable.
It's almost
with you.
It's almost unbelievable.
Because it's like
you mean she touches you on your neck or would touch you on your ear and all this touching they do because they're not sitting far apart. They're touching, they're holding hands, they're rubbing, and you haven't got excited yet.
Look, man, Artika can only touch me so much before I'm like, yo, What's up?
Let's go.
What's up?
I like them TikTok memes. Jack just walked in the room like, well, hey.
Right.
You know, like,
look at Glenn. He's all like,
kids are gone. Like, what's up?
Phone down. I'm ready.
I
feel like
sleep.
Gets on my nerves. All right, where we going to next?
See, told you she'll like stuff like that. Ready to change the subject. Here we go.
She's a lady.
Right, thank you.
I know she's a lady. I know she is a lady.
All right, who we got left? Shaquille and Kirsten.
Yeah, lying wonders.
Man,
Kirsten lie every week, and then she play. He like she wasn't attracted to me, and then she go like he forced her to rub his head. Y'all see that? He kind of forced her hand on his head like she be rubbing my head. That girl still don't like that dude. And I don't care how much they found. I like the fact they brought married couples over for their party though.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good idea. They brought married couples over, but she still don't like him. And they talked about the attraction, and I'm glad that one couple said, "Look, I wasn't attracted to him for a long time neither, but we worked it out."
For a year, he said we were friends for a year, and then one day it was like, "Ooh, she's been right under my nose."
Right under my nose.
Fuck out of here. I'm sorry.
Hey, how much? I mean, I'm gonna ask somebody, you in the chat, Talisa, Tommy, have y'all been like that way? That the attraction grew over a period of time?
me and Artika. Like when I was 18 when I met Artika, and my only thing about her was that she was mean. We stayed in the same dorm, and everybody would go into the basement. Artika was not on my radar at all. You fast forward 18 to 26, I want to say, we started hanging out. It didn't take long for me to realize she was pretty, and then it didn't take long after that for me to realize, man, I'm attracted to her. Now I ain't gonna, it is what it is, and I'm gonna continue to grow with her and see what happens. But yeah, man, the Artika could have asked me to do anything, man. Wide open, nose wide open at that point. But at 18, I'm not trying to even talk to her, man. So yeah. It just flipped for me on the flip side. Like I thought some girls was really pretty, but then after a while, it's like, man, I wouldn't give you a time of day. So.
But it was behavior though. I think at a certain point, you got to get past. At a certain point, I think you have to get past the attraction. Like I'm looking at Shaq. She says Shaq checks all her boxes. She's always said it, right? Whether you believe it or not, I'm just going by what she says. He meets everything I asked for, except for the fact he has a bald head. But it's growing on me. So either you're lying, right? Either you're lying or
that's an attractive man. That is an attractive man.
That's what I'm saying.
They early 30s, and if I ain't meet no men that look like or had their shit together the way Shaq do. Ain't no way. And in my 30s, I wanted to be married. So ain't no way I would have been like, I ain't attracted to him. I would have been like, hey.
And they're not kissing either. Did his breath stink?
No, she get that lame-o story. Like, when she says I'm not a good kisser, I'm like, what are you doing that makes you a bad kisser? I mean, are you licking his cheek? Like, why you engulfing his whole mouth? When you say I'm not a good kisser, I'm like, peck that man, girl.
Kissing like
that's it. I did. I said you start off with just a little pet, and then you go to like a 3-second hold pet, and then after that you go to part your mouth pet. Like you can gradually get there. Like, come on. Like I didn't taught people how to kiss, so I'm just
you won't never get there if you don't do it.
That's
you won't never get there if you gotta do that. Was it last season or the season before? Who was that? What's their name? That was the black couple. I don't remember.
I don't even remember last season. Who was on last
season? I don't even know. Might not have been. Her name was Jasmine, and his name was
Michael.
And they didn't kiss either.
That wasn't last season. Oh yeah, it was.
Okay, it was last season, or was it the season before?
It was when they was in Boston.
Whenever it was ridiculous, just like this. Except for Kirsten is leaning all on him when they doing the camera. Girl.
It don't take skill to kiss.
It takes some skill. I don't know.
It don't take skill to peck. It don't take skill to peck anyone.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've never, you just stick your lips out, get a peck, or kiss on the cheek or whatever. So my thing is, what affection is she's giving him to make him still be like, because he's still close, he's still loving. So what is she doing? Is the holding?
They said they be hugging and holding hands, but they're not kissing.
Enough? I don't know. Again,
what's the benefit? That ain't enough.
Again, I'm a guy. Maybe I'm different. Tommy, you help me out here. We the only two guys on here. It's only but so many times I can lean in for a kiss and you reject me that I'm gonna try to give you another one. But
has he tried to lean in? I think that once she said it, after the wedding and that cheek, and then I think they had a conversation. After that, he ain't trying no more. And her saying he should have asked me. Okay, so when he asked you the next time, why you say no then?
You sure did. She's like, no. He's like, can I get a kiss? No. Yeah.
And that was a good moment.
Just been like the little funky pet. I'm gonna give you a pet. And she could have told him, I'm giving you a pet. We can do pets. Let's hen peck a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said the same thing about Mila with Gil. Like, you can at least give a peck. Right? You can, yeah.
Oh yeah, she wouldn't kiss him.
Nah, she wouldn't kiss Gil for a long time.
Yeah. I think she likes him, or I want her to like him.
I want her to like him.
I want her. That's it. I
want her too.
I want her
to. I want her to like him.
Yeah.
But she's putting up all these barriers for them to really do normal things, because it's like, I know they probably hadn't graduated to the booty touch, but that's a thing.
Come on, booty touch. It sure is, Artika.
Like it's a thing, that you like, you don't know that you're doing it, but it's a thing that happens. And so it's like, you can't get to that if you're putting up all these boundaries, because like it's having a partner, a spouse, or a life partner or whatnot is one of the greatest things in the world, but you have to be able to experience it without any rules.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So all these rules that she's not a good kisser. Well, you're not a good kisser because you don't practice kissing. And you have a practice mate. You got somebody to tussle with. So practice.
And he wouldn't even say nothing. He wouldn't even tell you not. He'd be so excited.
He'd be so happy that you're sitting up here kissing on him.
My question would be, who told you that you're not a good kisser, and that person's not me?
Right.
Let me tell you don't kiss good.
Let your husband.
Let me find out for myself.
Let your husband tell you that you're not a good kisser. Stop listening to other men, because you're not with other men anymore. You with me.
Right. Because if something he did was not good, she would definitely say that's not good.
I don't like that.
Yeah. I don't, because his jokes wasn't funny, and first thing she said, you need to stop telling jokes. But that's him. So it's like, man, it's just, I want her to like him, and I want her to show it.
Yes, at the show it part.
Yes.
Come on, Tommy being all prophetic.
I think this couple is probably the best matched couple.
Yeah.
Out of it, like, that doesn't irritate me. Yeah. But it's like, it'll work if she XYZ.
And also, though, if he XYZ, because it ain't just on her. I get that she is not affectionate, but he needs to. I don't think that she sees him as assertive enough outside of her being a little bit of an introvert. I feel like she might, after the panini, she was like, I just want to be by myself, right? But I feel like he needs to have the conversation, which I don't feel like he has a problem communicating. I think that he's just scared. I don't want to push her off. Like, I don't want to push her away. What did he say?
Like, in think about it, but like, let's okay. So they're strangers, right? They only know each other for 2 weeks at this point. I think he's not trying to demand too much, not trying to push up on her too much, just because he doesn't want her to close the door.
Absolutely. He wants to respect her boundaries. But here's my thing. At what point are you going to say, these are the things that I would like us to start doing? At what point do you stop saying, okay, Like, that's enough. Give me a peck. Like, at what, when, I don't know. Because, if I like you, I'm kissing you. So I can't answer this. But at what point do you say, and the people in the chat, please chime in, what point are you like, okay, girl, that's enough. Like, we in week 3, we in week 4, and we still ain't had a kiss. Like, when, and I appreciate him respecting her boundaries. Like, that's huge to me. But at what point does she say enough is enough? Now, I did see in the next episode, she did say it's going down. What's going down, girl? You
Well,
gonna
what
hold
that mean?
Get a couple's massage, and that's it.
What is that? What's going down? What is it?
But do you blame
Not
him?
how this whole ask for a big dick and then say you can't kiss him.
What? Yeah, she said that. She said it gotta be 6 or 7 inches.
She did, but that just don't seem intimate. I mean, that seemed like you just getting.
Yeah.
She's just trying to get her back blown out, ain't it?
Right.
Hey, everybody trying to get their back blown out.
I mean, I get your back blown out, but it's just not, to me, it's not intimate if you ain't kissing me. It feels like you just smash and pass. Like, I don't know.
Color purple, he just get on top of me and do his business.
Yeah, but listen.
Look, but how much do Shaq have to do to make her feel comfortable? Like, do he have to bring out the rose petals? Do we have to continue to bring flowers home? Do we have to keep telling her how beautiful she is and encourage her to maybe loosen her up some? I don't know. I'm just asking from the chat and for you guys. Does Shaq have to do some more on his end to make her feel comfortable enough to kiss him? And what can he do?
I think Shaq needs to start being more of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the thing, because how long can you be that what she desired, right? If it's not who you are, how long can you put up that facade? And the faster he's able to get to the faster he's able to fart in front of her, because we know we all do it. The faster he can get to that, I think that's when he can turn the corner with some things.
Okay, so
and I use fart as being a natural, like being a natural thing.
Yeah. Okay, but do you think? Okay, so when he talked about wanting to know, no, that was the other one. That was Clint. But okay, so how much communication do you think that they're having where we're just sitting and talking and it's flow and it's not 20 questions? Because that's also a big thing. When things start flowing naturally in our conversation and how we feel and how we vibe, automatically the chemistry and connection changes. Mm-hmm. Because, I pride myself. I'm a conversationalist. I meet a new man and they want to tell me all their business. Okay. Listen, I pride myself on just listening and probing a little question, answering questions. So the ebb and flow, I wonder, do they even have that? It doesn't look like they have ebb and flow, right? Yeah. Is that the right verbiage? I don't know. Yeah,
that's right. I mean, like you're absolutely right on that. I don't know if that's happening. Like, I don't even know how to tell if that's happening, because it's still feel like they're still at questions. You know what I'm saying? When they're trying to be very natural in their conversations, and it feels completely different. So I don't know, man. If he can be his natural self, I think he can do his thing.
I'm dying because Rosemary, that shimmy, you right. He got. I'm sorry.
That's too funny.
I don't mean it.
All right.
But it's like he has to figure out what she needs, but she also has to allow him to enter, if it's for lack of better words. She has to allow him to get into the game. So, and I think that's their barrier.
Excuse me.
But it looked like she finna, next week.
I can't wait. I might even put up my own review on Wednesday. I might be like, Thursday, this is my own. They might get me excited. Like, what?
He might GTD next week.
Hey, yeah, but if she GTD and it goes south, the GTD, it ain't what she expects. There's no coming back from that. Right.
Hey,
If he
Something does
GT,
go south anyway. They, kind of something ain't right. They're always giving us teasers that don't make no
Yeah.
sense. I need to make sense.
yeah,
Right.
if he goes in and he don't come in strong and go in weak, brother, that
Gonna
relationship
be a problem.
that relationship done.
You can't even. I don't know. You shouldn't even be physically intimate if you can't have the conversation about the things that you like, what you want. What, especially, I'm a whole stranger. Now, if this is a one night stand, you're doing whatever you're doing, and we going about our lives. Not to say that I've ever done that, not to say that I haven't. But what I am saying is that when I'm in a relationship and we getting ready to take that next step, we having all the conversations. So I'm not sure. I don't know if he gonna GTD, Glenn, because they're not having regular conversations. But she gonna hold his hand real tight and smell his neck.
She said, "Smell it."
Somebody's come up and give him a massage. That's what it is. I'm convinced. They was in bathrobes for a reason.
I don't know, man. I hope he's GTD.
Last, I hope he does.
Yeah, I
last but not least, I do too, and I really want him to work out. I really want them to, but
she can't get out of herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got to get out her own way, Glenn. That's absolutely. I absolutely agree.
And she that's the person Nicole should be telling you gonna regret this when he gone.
Right.
all y'all single people in the chat will be in his DM. We stop. He
had about 5 more years on him. I'd be one of them people like, hey, Shaq, I don't want to get married, but we can have fun until you find somebody. Like, that'd be me. 5 years. 5 years. Listen, I'm single. And all the married folks, listen.
Yeah.
All right, so last but not least, we got Gina and Clint. And I mean, the one, to me, they had more of a reason than Dominique and McKinley to be like, no, but they actually had a nerve to stick in there. Clint said, I want to try.
Yo, my hat's off to Clint for manning up and saying, you know what? I'm going to ride this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to move in with me. He appreciated the fact that she moved in, even though they're sleeping in separate rooms. He manned up and said, you know what? I'm going to work this thing through. We're going to see. I'm going to ride it out. And let's be honest, Clint ain't doing it for the money. No. I can say that much. Clint ain't doing it for the little bit of bread that he's supposed to be getting for the show. All right, but Clint's trying to be a stand-up guy. Whether it works or not, that's a whole 7 weeks we got to figure out. But at least he's trying. I mean, for him to be in the room with all those women cooking and then command the room with his food, with his skills, and with everything else, and for her to really she was even to the point in one of her vignettes where she think, I'm kind of forgetting about the whole slender and exercise thing. She like
athletic
thing. She was really impressed with Clint and how he handled and commanded the room. His strength came out during this episode, and she really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm. I was really surprised that Clint didn't have any of his male friends on. It was just him and a house full of women. I said, okay.
He want nobody tell on him.
He didn't want nobody telling him.
Nope, he didn't want nobody telling him. Nope.
I like Clint. I actually like Clint. I thought he was gonna be the problem. I thought he was gonna be a problem because he, the sailboat, the adventure, is he gonna be able to be with one, like all of that, like the energy he gave, like get the draws early, right on the top. I thought he was gonna be the problem, and he is proving me wrong. I think that. I felt the same way. Yeah, I think like he's being a real upstanding guy. Like, okay, I made a mistake. Now time to course correct. And like you said, being able to command the room with the women, I said, this is definitely like he is a natural at being able to navigate these spaces. And that might have come from his, F-boy days, okay? Because them white boys be F-boys too. It might have came from them being able to be around them. But he can cook. Child, you can cook. Come on and be Chef Bay. Like, I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can cook. He knows how to carry himself. He's stable like Dom wants, right? He's got all the boxes checked. And the best part is that he's willing to course correct. Like, oh, I see where I was wrong. I'm all like, they probably gonna do all right if she continues on the course. I'm glad that she decided that she was gonna move in. I'm glad that she decided he likes the dog. He gonna be like, if we don't make it, can we share the dog? He likes Henry. Hank. I don't know the dog. Girl, yeah, ribeye taco. Girl, the food. I was like,
that's what he made was ribeye tacos.
Yeah, that's what I didn't know what kind they were. I was like, is they seasoned though? That's the only thing.
Yeah, they put some season on
question.
it. He got some season on it.
He did have some seasoning on it, but the fact that he was cooking, if he is with a woman that knows how to season stuff, they wouldn't. Because if it's not seasoned, then you just gotta. Me with my black self, I would be like, let's add a little Tony's, let's add a little season salt.
Tony's.
Yeah, you have to just tell him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like him. I think I don't really have nothing on there except for I like him. I think that's all I wrote down too was I like him.
I think I'm glad that she moved in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's one of the best things I think for them. And so Clint can show, hey, this is why I'm here. You know, I think Clint's friend, I brought this up on our review of the show too, was Clint's friend basically was talking to him about why, like, this things happening in a low pressure situation versus this high pressure situation that they're in now. And I think that was that was a great conversation for him to have, because he's trying to do all these things and get all these things together in a short period, but not focusing on the person. You know, and really learning who the person is, you know. So I really like what he's doing. I really liked how he stepped up and became a leader in a sense of even with the group, you know. And he's not looked upon for just his comment about what he used to date. And now it's like Gina, you see Gina, she's smiling, she's, you know, and laughing at his stuff, and it's like, okay, cool. You see why, you know, you need to stick this out, because you was ready to walk out of this thing, but you're really enjoying yourself. Like, your whole demeanor has changed about him, and it's the best thing for her to do was to have moved in, even though they may be sleeping in separate rooms, but it's her way of seeing how they can work out. Now I'm curious to see what next week's holds, because that was pretty cool. They went to a rodeo and she's on the sale, you know, selling and stuff like that. And then they try to throw in somebody got pregnant. I was like, I hope it's just 5 years
early in life, right? That she had a miscarriage or something, you know, or took her decision and did what she wanted to do. Like, I'm hoping that that's just a conversation.
I kind of agree with Millennial Mom. I like the fact that, I mean, Gina does need to get our own way, but I do think Clint is there for, out of all the people, I do think Clint is there. Him wanting to be married is genuine. Him wanting to be in this relationship thing is genuine. I think he really wants to be there. You can see about Gina sometimes, you can, like, you know, is it really about her being married, or is it about her promoting her business? Is it about, I think Clint and Shaq really want to be married. I put both of those two guys in the same conversation when they say who really wants to be married. Shaq and Clint are the two that really want to be down there and do that. And because Clint could have easily been like, you know, after he told her to leave or get out of his face, or whatever she told him on the honeymoon, he could have bounced. He could have totally turned off and shut down, but he didn't. He owned it. He apologized, and he was willing to course correct and move on. And that's what you do in marriage, though. How many times in marriages do you have to apologize, and then you got to course correct and move on and recognize, you know what? Mental note, don't say that again. Right? Mental note, don't say that
earlier.
Right.
Dog,
it's an ever-growing thing, man.
Tommy, that's a podcast me and you can do about course correct.
Man, like, what do you apologize about today?
Like, what did you? That's the name of the apologize. That's the name of the podcast. What did you apologize about today?
But nah, it's an ever-growing thing, and I think you have to give it a chance. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that I can appreciate about Gina deciding to move in and Clint stepping up the way he's been doing. Like, for me, I didn't pay attention to how honest and what his honesty is doing for the relationship until this episode. I didn't really I couldn't appreciate it until this episode, just because of the comment. And it's like, man, you focus so much on a comment, but you're not realizing how much of a good guy he's actually being.
Right.
And I think that's impressive to be able to say what's up to what's up, man.
What's up?
But I think that's impressive for him to be able to command that room full of women and make them all feel comfortable and make Gina smile the way he did, because when she described it to the group, she couldn't help herself but continue to smile with him. And that's a complete 180 from the previous week. So, I mean, you can appreciate that.
Hey, moving in and being around a person 24/7, you get to see them in their genuine self makes a big difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Kingston came because he heard something y'all was saying, and he I don't remember that. Look how he looking at me. He had a comment, but now I guess what's the comment? What was the comment? Okay, never mind. But he had something to say. Okay, next week I'm gonna have him on here. Okay, with us next week. Huh,
no problem.
He said it take too long. It's too long.
It's way too long.
Like you said, off camera, everybody got comments. They're like, hey, hold on, I got that. And they're like, oh, nah, we're not making that comment. But nah.
I know.
But it's fun though. I mean, I'm glad they got away from the business stuff and focus on their relationship. So that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really much with them, not for real.
Not yet.
We'll see. Hopefully they'll get better as the weeks go on. Hopefully they'll be relating better. Like I said, I'm glad they didn't give up like Dominique and McKinley, because they had even more reason, because they had such a terrible friction, initially. So
Gina's a track star. Clint just wouldn't let her run.
Yeah,
agreed.
Gina's a track. She was getting ready to bounce, but Clint was like, hold on.
Stop
he lassoed her,
and he liked shoot. If I could stick in there, come on, you can work with me. Come on, work with me. So.
He was like, I'll wait in the elevator for you every day in our building just to see you.
Oh, that would be kind of creepy though, because if they said no, they go and stay in the same building. If they say no,
same building, that's creepy.
Hopefully, they get some kind of like friendly rapport going at minimum. But I hope I've got my fingers crossed, because I like Clint. He's a good guy.
Well, he's growing on me. I thought he was gonna be a problem. I
thought he was gonna be a problem. I thought, all this talk. Look, now my baby sitting right here. I'm all like,
y'all thought he was gonna be another Mitch, didn't you?
Yeah.
Definitely thought he was gonna be another Mitch.
Yeah.
So, hey, closing thoughts, man. What's your guys' closing thoughts? Anything you working on that you want to promote this week, and get a shout out
to Lisa?
Listen, I don't have anything to promote except for us. Okay, so subscribe to our channels, each of us individually. If you are still in here, you should hit the like button so that everybody knows you like us, because it's real. That's what I say on my channel. And then I love you guys. And if you didn't know, this is my youngest son, Kingston. Isn't he handsome? Look at me. That's what all. Isn't he handsome? Say hi, Kingston.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh, the voice too.
You hear the Barry White? Yeah.
No.
That's funny. Well, one half of the group, August Love Story. I always wanted to say that, I'm a big Outkast fan. So, but what we got? Podcast review and coffee breaks on Saturday. Jackie, we saw you this past Saturday.
Yeah, out in there. Talk about them comedians.
Man,
it's too early.
That Chris Rock thing was not funny. Huh?
One Saturday. Just do a little, maybe an hour later, one time.
Okay. One Saturday.
Tell me when though, so that I can be like,
right. Look, we gonna have to get a babysitter and everything. But yeah, like Talisa said, subscribe to all our channels, like our stuff, share it out, help us grow. Like this, if you're watching it right now, or if you go back and watch it, like the video. Follow Artika's channel too. She has her own channel. It's called Life with Artika.
What?
And so she has her. She basically trying to lead a group, but it's all good.
How dare she?
Right. But me being her number one fan, hey, go follow her channel, share her things, and tell her that she's great and doing great and everything like that. So I love you guys and I appreciate you guys.
What you got, Glenn? I ain't got nothing.
Oh, Jack held it down today. I'm
nah.
happy. Jack held it down today.
I didn't have no timer. I couldn't find a timer, but I did the best I could.
I want to apologize to you on camera in front of everyone because I didn't have something plugged up because I unplugged something when I do my own little videos.
So that's why I couldn't find what I needed.
That's why you couldn't find what you need. So it wasn't you, but you did a great job. I appreciate you.
Praise God.
And I just want to give you, your kudos and the pat on your back while everybody's watching. So she held it down for the beginning, and Tommy noticed when I came in the room. He said, "Things changed."
I told him, I was like, I don't know where my background is. I can't find the background. But Tommy tried to help you too. He's like, "Go to the setting."
I tried to help. I tried.
Yeah, but the ATEM, my switcher was unplugged, so that's why she couldn't find it. But anyway, just make sure you again subscribe to everybody's channel. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. And again, we appreciate you. You guys have a great evening. Enjoy your weekend, and the rest of your weekend before Monday starts. So, thank y'all for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Okay, so that's just left there. You can go if you want to.